Hey, what's up, plant people? Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever tried growing houseplants in dry air and ended up with crispy leaves and sad vibes, yeah, I've been there then, this video's for you. Low humidity can be a real pain, especially in winter when the heater's blasting, or if you live in a dry climate like the Southwest. But don't worry, you don't need a rainforest to have thriving plants. I've got 20 indoor champs that love, or at least tolerate dry, humidifier. No drama. From tough-as-nails succulents to leafy legends that barely flinch at low humidity, we're covering the easiest options you can grow with zero stress. Grab your watering can or not. Some of these barely need that. And let's jump into the top 20 easy indoor plants for low humidity homes. Let's do this. Pothos is hands down one of the easiest plants you can grow, especially if your place has dry air. This guy doesn't need fancy humidity or misting, just a little light and the occasional drink. I've got one in my kitchen that basically thrives on neglect. What's awesome is how it vines out and adds that jungle vibe without needing a rainforest. If the leaves start to droop, that's your plant's way of saying, "Hey buddy, I'm thirsty." And once you water it, it perks right back up. Plus, you can snip a piece, stick it in water, and boom, you've got another plant. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. Aloe Vera is one of those plants that just gets it. You forget to water it for weeks, and it's still like, "I'm good, man." It actually prefers drier air, which makes it perfect for low humidity spaces. I keep one near my window, and it barely asks for anything, just some sunlight and a little drink every now and then. Plus, it's not just a cool-looking plant, it's useful too. Got a little burn or cut? Snap off a leaf, and there's your natural healing gel. Just don't overwater it, this one hates wet feet. If you're the type that forgets you even own plants, aloe's gonna be your low-maintenance hero. Snake plant, or as my grandma used to call it, mother-in. Law's tungi is practically indestructible. This thing doesn't care if the air's dry, if you forget to water it for a month, or if it's stuck in a dark corner. It just keeps standing tall with those cool sword-like leaves. I've got one in my bedroom, and honestly, I barely do anything to it. It's just chillin' and cleaning the air. It's one of the best low-humidity plants because it's built for tough conditions. And bonus, it looks super modern, so it fits with pretty much any style. If you want a plant that thrives on pure neglect, the snake plant's got your back. Corn plant, or Dracena fragrans if you want to get fancy, is like the laid-back roommate every home needs. It's got these long, arching green leaves that kinda remind you of a tropical vibe, but the best part? It doesn't freak out in dry air. I've had one hanging out near a heater ventia. Not ideal, but it still looks great. It doesn't need a ton of light, and as long as you don't drown it, it's happy. Give it a drink when the soil feels dry, wipe the dust off the leaves once in a while, and it just keeps doing its thing. Super chill, super low effort, and it makes your space look like you've got your life together. Coleus is one of those plants that brings serious color to the game without needing tropical conditions. I mean, those leaf reds, purples, greensit, looks like it belongs in a painting, not a dry living room. But the cool part? It actually handles low humidity pretty well, especially if you keep it out of direct sun. I've got one in my hallway that's nowhere near a window, and it still puts on a show. Just keep the soil slightly moist, not soaked, and it's happy. And if it starts getting leggy, just pinch it back, and it'll bush out even fuller. Honestly, for the pop of color it gives, it's way easier than it looks. Oyster Plant, also called Moses in the Cradle, is a total sleeper hit when it comes to low humidity houseplants. It's got these awesome sword-shaped leaves that are green on top, and this deep purple underneath super cool contrast, and it really stands out on a shelf. What's great is, it doesn't need much fussing. Dry air doesn't bother it at all. I water mine when the top inch of soil feels dry, and that's pretty much it. It just keeps growing and looking sharp without begging for attention, which is exactly what I need in a plant. Heartleaf Philodendron is one of those ride-or-die plants that just keeps going, no matter what. It's super forgiving, and totally cool with low humidity, which is great if you live somewhere dry or just don't want to run a humidifier all day. The vines grow fast, and those little heart-shaped leaves? Yeah, they're kind of perfect. I've got one trailing down a bookshelf, and it honestly looks like I put in way more effort than I do. Persian Cyclamen is a little different from your typical low-humidity plant because it actually prefers cooler, drier air, which makes it perfect if your place gets dry but stays cool. The flowers are super bright and cheerful, kind of like a little pop of color on a gloomy day. You just want to keep the soil moist but not soaked, and avoid getting water on the leaves to keep it happy. I've kept one on my windowsill during winter, and it really perks up the space without needing constant humidity or fuss. Desert rose is exactly what it sounds, like a plant made for dry, low humidity spots. It's got this thick, swollen stem that stores water, so it's built to survive some serious neglect. I keep mine in a sunny spot, and it doesn't ask for much besides a good soak when the soil is dry. The flowers are pretty stunning too, bright and colorful, which makes it feel like a little desert treasure right in your living room. If you want a plant that thrives in dry air and looks unique, desert rose is a solid pick. Swedish Ivy is a super easygoing plant that does really well even if your air's on the dry side. It's got these trailing vines with round, shiny leaves that just add a nice green touch anywhere you put it. I usually keep mine on a shelf away from direct sunlight, and it doesn't mind the lower humidity at all. Just water it when the top feels dry, and it'll keep growing and looking fresh without you having to babysit it. Ornamental pepper is a fun one, because it brings some serious color with those tiny, bright peppers that can be red, orange, or yellow. It's pretty tough, and actually likes drier air, which makes it great for low humidity spots. I keep mine near a sunny window and just water when the soil dries out. It's not picky. Plus, it adds a little spice to your plant collection without needing a lot of fuss, so it's a win-win. Poinsettias get a bad rep for being fussy, but honestly, they're not too bad if you keep the conditions right. They actually handle low humidity better than you might think, as long as you don't overwater. I keep mine in a bright spot, but out of direct sunlight, and just let the soil dry out a bit between drinks. Those bright red leaves? They're not flowers, but they definitely brighten up any room, especially around the holidays. Just keep an eye on the leaves if they start to droop. It's thirsty time and you'll have a nice splash of color without a ton of hassle. Haworthia is one of those tiny succulents that's perfect for low humidity and small spaces. It doesn't need much water, just let the soil dry out completely before you give it a little drink. I keep mine on my desk where it gets some indirect light, and it's just chillin' there looking cool without any fuss. The little rosette-shaped leaves have these neat white stripes or dots, which makes it stand out from your typical succulent crowd. If you want a low-maintenance plant that adds some subtle style, Haworthia is a solid pick. Golden barrel cactus is basically the ultimate low-humidity survivor, this little guy. Thrives in dry air and loves bright light, so it's perfect if you want a plant that's basically desert-proof. I've got one sitting on my windowsill, soaking up the sun, and it barely needs anything besides a good soak every few weeks. Its round, spiky shape makes it stand out, and honestly, it adds some serious character without asking for much care. Just watch out for overwatering because these guys hate sitting in soggy soil. If you want a tough, low-maintenance plant with some attitude, the golden barrel's your go-to. Starfish Flower is one of those unique plants that you don't see everywhere, and it actually handles low humidity pretty well. It's got these cool star-shaped flowers that really catch your eye, which is a nice bonus if you want something a little different. I keep mine in a spot with bright, indirect light, and water it when the top inch of soil feels dry, pretty, simple routine. The leaves are thick enough to store water, so it's forgiving if you forget to water it every now and then. If you want a plant that stands out but isn't high maintenance, the starfish flower's a solid choice. Crown of Thorns is a tough little plant that thrives in low humidity and lots of light, so it's perfect if your place tends to be on the dry side. It's got these bright, colorful flowers that pop against the spiky, thorny stems Definitely not your average houseplant. I usually keep mine near a sunny window and only water it when the soil is completely dry, which is pretty easy to manage. It's super low maintenance and doesn't mind if you forget about it for a bit. If you want a plant with a bit of edge and color that's easy to care for, Crown of Thorns is a solid pick. Panda Plant is one of those fuzzy little succulents that's perfect for low humidity because it stores water right in its thick leaves. I love how the soft, furry leaves look kind of like a tiny panda, which makes it a fun conversation starter. It doesn't need much water, just a little when the soil feels dry, and it thrives in bright, indirect light. I've got mine chilling on my desk, and it's pretty much hassle-free. If you want a cute, low-maintenance plant that handles dry air like a champ, the Panda Plant's a great pick. Clubmoss Crassula is a cool succulent that does really well in low humidity, making it perfect if your place tends to be dry. Its little needle-like leaves give it a unique texture that stands out from the usual chunky succulents. I keep mine in bright, indirect light and water it only when the soil is completely dry, which makes it super low maintenance. It's one of those plants that looks like it belongs in a mini desert garden, but fits right in on your windowsill or desk. If you want something different that's easy to care for and loves dry air, Clubmoss Crassula's a solid choice. Prickly Pear is a classic cactus that's built for low humidity and bright light, so it's perfect if your air's usually dry. Those flat, paddle-shaped pads give it a unique look compared to other cacti, and it even flowers with some really cool blooms if you're lucky. I keep mine near a sunny window and only water when the soil's bone dry, which makes it super easy to take care of. Just watch out for the tiny spines. They're sharp, but add to its charm. If you want a low-maintenance plant that brings a bit of the desert vibe indoors, Prickly Pear is a great pick. African milk tree is a striking succulent that's perfect for low-humidity environments because it's super drought-tolerant. It's got these tall, spiky stems that really give it a cool architectural vibe in your room. I usually keep mine in bright, indirect light and only water it when the soil is completely dry, which means it's pretty low maintenance. Just be careful with the sap. It's milky and can irritate your skin if you're not careful. If you want a bold, easy-care plant that loves dry air and adds some drama, the African milk tree is a solid choice. All right, that's our top 20 easy indoor plants that love low humidity. Hopefully, you found a few favorites to brighten up your space without any hassle. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more plant tips. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time.